All right, so we're going to jump on over to y'all. You know what time it is, y'all? It's time for What Do You Say? J and K. What up, my brother?
Good deal.
Rock with it, man. What we got?
So I'm gonna grab a note over here.
Yep.
So let's see. This note came to us via YouTube, and it comes from Maxine to the Max.
Maxine to the Max. All right.
So Maxine goes on to say, I am a 37-year-old woman. I would describe myself as someone that is plugged in and aware of the latest trends, but I'm somewhat embarrassed to say that I just learned about the term passport bros during a girls' night out. I can't believe that a man would fly halfway around the world to hook up and marry a woman when there are so many amazing single women here. Tell me, what am I missing? How does this make sense? Because to me, it seems like instead of men getting their act together, they would rather take the easy way out, fly to a third world country, and boo up with one of those women. That doesn't sound better to me. What do you think?
You want me to go first, Kay?
Please. I'm processing this Maxine the Max.
All right, Maxine. I got two questions for you. So, first of all, you say, I want to know what your definition, you say there's so many amazing women. Really? I don't see them. I don't see them. So, but I'm really curious because maybe my definition from your definition of amazing is probably a little different. Then you also go on to saying that these men need to get their act together. Maxine, what about some of y'all women getting y'all act together? How about that? Okay? Like, I just don't like how, I'm not saying anything against you, Maxine, but I'm just saying, you said it, and a lot of women have this same thought pattern that there are so many amazing women here. And I speak to you about this, and a lot of my other brothers, we talk about, we don't find there's so many amazing women here. And I'm not saying there are a bunch of amazing men here either. What I'm saying is a lot of us brothers, we are finding that here, I'm based here, in New York. There's a lot of women here within the States that we are just not finding very good quality women here anymore.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? Just in my experience, and a lot of the brothers that I speak to, we're doing that sentiment. So, they want a lot here. I've dealt with women who don't even know how to say thank you after you take them out on a simple dinner date.
Right.
Right? A lot of women here, Maxine, they're entitled, right? So when you're bringing up the story about passport brothers, we don't really deal with that when you go on over to maybe DR or Panama, Puerto Rico, or different other places. Like, you don't really deal with that. Shoot, if you just go down south, like North and South Carolina, you meet much nicer women than women that you meet right here in New York. Listen, I'm not bashing New York women or whatever, or even women in the United States. I'm just saying that when we go as brothers out of the country, we feel like they are a lot nicer. They are more appreciative of what we do for them. They don't seem like they're all about the money, right? They just appreciate being with us for who we are. So I think it's very unfair for you, Maxine, to come down on brothers who decide to go out of the country and meet a woman that they feel meshes with them better and that's not looking for just what's in their wallet. They look for, what's in our heart, right? And that's something that we prefer to deal with more than a lot of the women that we deal with here who feel that way. And let me just put it out there, Maxine. I'm not saying all women here in the States are like that, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But there are, especially today, a lot of them are that way, at least in my experience and a lot of my friends' experience. And I've spoken to women here too, and it's just not just coming from men. A lot of women that I've spoken to anyway feel the same way that I'm saying. So I don't want you to think that we're just coming down on that. So I don't think there's anything wrong with brothers going out of the country and meeting someone who works better for them when it comes to that aspect.
Well, I'll say this. For someone in Maxine who claims to be in the know, in the now, where you been? This passport bros is not a new phenomenon. Mm-hmm. Men have been saying for years they can't take the noise anymore. This is a direct response to what they view and the interactions they're having with women here. And I think it's interesting that she pointed out that men taking the easy way and flying across the world.
Yeah, what's easy about that?
Right.
Like we want to do that.
Like what would be easier than like meeting someone
down the block?
Right. So I think that
telling.
It's telling. It's incredibly telling. Like the fact that men have to buy tickets and create a life someplace else just in order to find someone that connects with them, that appreciates them. Just the man aspect of this. If that ain't a cry for help, or if that is not a moment for reflection on the women's side, then I don't know what else is there. You're literally, this is in this dating market, and whether they want to believe it or not, they are being compared to other women. You can say, well, no, yeah, you are. For every single person, you're being compared to someone else because he's either going to ask you or he's going to ask her. She's either going to ask him or she's going to ask him. And so there's that level of competition. I'm just amazed that that those that feel like we can continue to be in this space where it's combative, where many men talk about this masculine energy that women have, that you and I have talked a lot about, contributions from women, whether they're there or not there. You literally have to have a scorecard when you meet folks and find out whether they want, is this relationship going to be about princess or partner, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to kind of find that out.
Yeah.
There's no opportunity or little opportunity to cultivate relationships.
Right.
So men are just like, you know what, I'm not going through that.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not. So to answer her question, that is why. It's for all of the reasons why you claim you don't know. If you don't know, then you need to just lift your head up and open your eyes, because I'm sure you are contributing to it. Thus the reason why you think flying across the world is an easy thing to do.
Now, I will say in fairness to Maxine, maybe she is, and maybe she does have some girlfriends that maybe they are some of the few really good women that are here within in the States. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe she's a good one, maybe she's a good person. I'm not saying that you're not. Maybe you are, right? But the thing is, she probably has to understand that there are a lot of women that are not like her, and a lot of times we are dealing with that. And I don't think, you should really question why a man or a woman goes out of the country and in search of, their partner, right? It shouldn't matter where you meet them, right? But I feel like there are a lot of women here, and a lot of black women definitely, especially, they'll like, let's say, even if you're dating outside of your race, right? They don't like that. They'll say, well, why can't, especially if they're talking about black men, they're like, well, why can't you find a black woman, like, and date us? Like, why do you have to go to a different race? So it's the same thing here. Why do you have to go to a different race? Why do you have to go out of the country? We are here, right here. Like, so.
Then change. Then change. Listen, no, men aren't going to women in other countries. They're leaving you. That's the rub. right? It's not a case of I want to go there. That's not the story. The story is I can't get this from you. So it's more about me leaving you more so than me going to her. Right, and that's the part. And so as long as there are women that view this as a way to mock and clown men, then you're missing the bigger picture. You're missing the story. No man wants to do that.
And Maxine, I can tell you a big problem that I've noticed is that, you know, this dating in today's day and age and being in relationships, men have to do so much for the women here that they do not have to do for the women, you know, in another country. And it's not to say, and I'm not saying that because we don't want to put in the work, but if you'll see a lot of these women, especially in 2024, you'll see it on social media. In order for us to even go out on a date with some of these women, they want to be flown to Dubai, right? You know, to Italy, like literally on the first date before we even go out for a cup of coffee. So we immediately see that as saying, well, are you interested in me as a person, or are you only interested in what I can do for you? Are you interested in getting to know me, or are you just interested in having a very great and an outstanding date that you can tell your girlfriends about and your mom and your sister about? What is that really about? So you got to cut us some slack, Maxine, because we as men, we're dealing with a lot. Not to say that y'all women aren't dealing with a lot too, because I know a lot of our men's ish stinks too. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is we deal with I just feel like it's so much harder for men to date these days than it is for women, because we do not care about the job that you have and, you know, your college degrees and all of that stuff. I mean, you know, that's not our main thing. Our main thing is, are we attracted to you, you know, both physically, emotionally? Are you just a good overall person? Are you a good human being? And once we find that as a man, whether it's here in the States or whether it's out of the country, that's what we want, right? But, you know, you're a heterosexual woman, so you wouldn't know this. You're not looking for women. We're looking for women. So I'm telling you what we are experiencing as men. So if you kind of digest that and understand that, maybe you'll be able to more understand what we're going through. And that's our job here on the J&K show, to explain to you what men are going through. And I know my brother K can expand on that as well.
Yeah,
too.
no, you're absolutely right. In short speak, the men flying, or these passport bros, men flying to other countries, women here could stop that like that. Could stop it immediately.
We want you to stop it.
You could absolutely stop it immediately. So I think you can end it right there. You don't like it collectively as a group, as a gender. If you don't like it, you can literally stop all of those men from flying and leaving the country, period. You're empowered to do that. Done.
So Maxine, speak to your girls. we're not saying you like this, but speak to your girls that may be like this, and please help them help us. It would all make a much better relationship for men and women these days.
Indeed. You know I agree, man. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Oh, it's fun, man. It's been fun, man. We got a lot of stuff going on, and, you know, listen, man, some really interesting stories, right?
Indeed.
Interesting stories. Well, so that's it, y'all. So another great show on the J&K show. We'll be back, of course, next week for more interesting stories. We're going to tackle some more entertainment stories and sports. And I love these J&K questions, man. Those are great, man.
Yeah, thanks, Maxine.
Great relationship questions. Yeah, appreciate the question, Maxine. So we'll be back next week for more fun and entertainment talks on the J&K show. Until next week, I'm your man, J. Rob. My man, K, in the house. We'll see you. Be good, be healthy, be wise. Take care, y'all. Peace. We out. Thanks for watching the J&K show.